One of the interesting things about growing up in a small town in a small state is everybody knows each other. So when I was growing up in Wilmington, Delaware, everybody I knew was a city councilman, a state senator, running for governor, used to be a councilman, wanted to be everybody. I mean, it's a small 70,000 people, right? Lots and lots of elected officials running around, all Democrats, I might add. Anyway, so you get to know a lot of people, and it was fun being able to see them up close, being able to see what they were all about and how they made things happen, including Joe Biden, by the way. Anyway, so I was thinking about that when I saw this story in this morning's paper. A couple of months ago, 2 black people were killed at a high school in Wilmington called Howard High School. One girl was killed in a bathroom during a fight, and another kid was killed off campus. These happened within a couple weeks of each other. One of the fights got national attention. So the guy I know, Bobby Marshall, he actually knows my oldest brother, and I went to school with my oldest brother. So Bobby Marshall says, we're going to convene a meeting, damn it, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, do something about it. So, they have a meeting, they produce a report, of course, 42 pages long, need more cops, more psychologists, more free stuff of all sorts. And the paper, almost as an afterthought, goes, and oh yeah, the numbers are really wrong here because the problem is a lot worse than what the numbers say it is. Because all the teachers are under pressure not to report crimes, because if the crimes are up in their school, they're going to be held accountable for that. So when you have a fight, when you have an assault, when you have something really bad happen, sometimes they just reclassify it as offensive touching. Works wonders for the crime numbers. Of course, the ACLU came out and said, "Oh, no, that's not true. No, that's not true because this violence at Howard High School was isolated, rarely happens." And the paper, it's just like these Gannett papers, you can tell them a mile away. The paper came out and said, and the paper actually said, the statistics are on the ACLU side. Well, we've talked about this exact thing here many a time, right? Including a video we just released yesterday in Milwaukee. How the witness intimidation really drives the numbers down. How everybody wants the numbers down. They don't care about the crime, just the numbers. But here's what everybody connected to that report knows. If you lived in Wilmington for more than 1 year, everybody knows that Howard High School is a chocolate school, black school. Lots of violence, lots of mayhem, lots of chaos, and it's in a black neighborhood with all that stuff happening too. Everybody knows that. Okay, if this seems a little disjointed, it's because I forgot to say one thing, so I'm going back and I'm inserting that right here, right now. This is kind of the second report over the last, say, 3 or 4 months that people who are down with the cause were really not down with the report. So this one says, oh yeah, there's lots of violence at Howard High School. Everybody, when you say Howard, that's like a black school. Okay, so like Wilmington, like every other city around the country last year, we had people out marching, stop the racist police, the whole thing. And so here, the head justice, chief justice of the Delaware Supreme Court, I think his name's Leo Shine, again, one of my brother's crew members. He decided he was going to get to the bottom of this because everybody was saying the police are racist, criminal justice is racist, and he's down with the cause. So he just wanted to get some data to shove it in people's faces like me and say, there, told you. So they went out and got a couple of professors from the University of Pennsylvania a few miles up the road. They brought them in, had a big meeting to present their findings. Everybody's sitting there drooling, waiting to get all this bad news about how white racists in Delaware are responsible for all these black people in prison wildly out of proportion. The professors came in and said, yeah, there's a reason. The only reason there's anybody in prison down there is because, they're committing a lot more crimes. The paper, the newspaper, the Gannett paper again, the Gannett paper goes, well, that only shows how much more work, how much more research we have to do. So nobody wants to get their mind around the fact that there is no racial injustice in Wilmington. There's just a lot of black people committing crimes, and a lot of people at the ACLU and a lot of black leaders, ministers included, who get unhappy when people get caught. Let's go back to the regularly scheduled portion of this video. And so you can do this report, and you can have the paper bringing these out-of-town reporters to the Gannett. That's what the Wilmington paper is. It's just like a little farm. It's like the, you know, for baseball terms, what would you call it? Level A, single A baseball. You bring in the reporters, train them up some, and kick them out to Milwaukee or Texas or wherever Gannett paper needs a AAA guy. Then if you do well in AAA, they kick you up to USA Today. Yay! Anyway, so everybody knows what's going on at Howard, what's been going on at Howard, and but this stuff with the numbers, you don't really see people speaking that kind of truth around here that often, how things are a lot worse than the numbers seem. That's because at Howard and in Wilmington in general, the number one rule of survival in democratic politics, and that's all there is around here, is don't make the black kids angry.